Hey everybody, welcome back to the Homestead. I get asked a question quite often, what the most important things are to set up on a homestead first. And I think it's kind of a tie, but maybe not. A tie in a different way. So here's two things. If you bought raw land, you need to establish your water. You need to get a well dug. And that can be number one because it plays into number two, right? So, or a close tie for number one. So number one is digging a well, getting water, or getting a water source on your homestead that is viable, that is portable or pumpable, I guess is a good term to use, because a close tie for homesteaders who want to be self-sufficient, who think that we're going to have some serious economic troubles in the near future, or just want to get away from corporately produced foods. The tie for number one or number two is your garden and establishing your food source. Food source is so important if you want to feed your family. If there's an economic breakdown issue, whatever, or food just goes off the charts with, if you understand GMOs to be bad, or just uncertain about them, your food source, your garden, your orchard is tied for number one or a close second, all right? But to be able to irrigate and grow your garden, you're going to need water. So they kind of go hand in hand, right? We need to think about food first. I mean, shelter, yes. Shelter is important. You can have varying degrees of shelter, right? People have lived in tents. I think Becky's homestead, she lived in a tent while she built her log cabin. But I'm sure, and I haven't watched all her videos in depth, but she was getting her garden rolling right away, and her food sources. She eats meat, we don't. If animal husbandry, if you eat meat, you need to get that going for maybe a close third or second, depending on how you look at it, right? So just remember, sources of animal protein are that's what you're going to be eating, is just protein from your animals, is, well, some calcium if you do milk from cows or goats, and other things from the eggs, right? But it's going to cost you more for less nutrition, all right? The amount of energy put into taking care of those animals is going to cost you less, unless you can really monetize it. We're going to stick with vegetarianism. I'm a former big steak lover, but it was doing things to my body which were terrible, and families, bodies, heart attacks, cancers, so on and so forth. Anyway, it takes much less energy to grow vegetables and fruit. Get your garden started now. Get your food source started. Because, why? Because it takes a while to get your soil right. You can't instantly walk out into your homestead, your brand new homestead, and expect to grow a whole produce section at the grocery store in an instant, in even 6 months. You have to get the soil right. The soil depends on where you live, right? Some needs more magnesium, some needs more calcium, some needs more nitrogen, some needs this, some needs that. Some you'll have to truck in topsoil to, maybe you're on a rocky surface. So Back to Eden works well and add some things, but you still have to amend the Back to Eden garden. And you have to add things to that soil, even though the wood chips break down. Same thing with your trees. You have to continually feed them. You got to feed them like anything else. And that takes time. And fruit trees take, to get good fruit off of it, say 4 years. Some will produce after 2, but you really want to extend that out a little bit to gain the maximum best yield from your trees. And you can go see our pruning video on how to manage them after they're a little bit older. But food source, water source, ASAP, because they take a while to develop. You're still going to be growing to the grocery store for the next year, maybe 2, once you get to your homestead. All right? Unless you have some magical growing method. I know the Middleiter method, LDS prepper, Middleiter method. I worry about his method, or that method, and him doing it, or being such a proponent of it, because, and I think he diversifies. Sorry, LDS, but I haven't watched your full spectrum on all the growing methods. I know you were in Houston as well, same with us, but what happens when you can't buy or sell anything, economy's gone to crap, and you can't get the nutrients you need to feed your plants? You just got sawdust and sand. I don't know. Maybe you're doing something else. Maybe you got a backup plan. I haven't seen that video. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But anyway, establish your garden, get it going, get your well dug, get it going, or do a ram pump from a spring or a flowing river, whatever it is. These things are super, super important, okay? And we really hope that you plan ahead and you do your research and listen and learn, because we had to as well. And that's our experience, and we want to share that with you. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you here next time. Share the video, like and subscribe. Take care. Have a great day.